Hello everybody. So in this video we're going to look at why Brahman, the ultimate reality, is, although it's the material cause of everything, as we say, consciousness, Brahman, existence itself, being, Satchitananda, is the material cause of everything. Everything's just made up of Brahman, like the sea, and the waves are all made up of water. So maybe we're the waves in this analogy, and the sea is, the whole ocean is God, maybe, God with form, and then the water itself is Brahman. So it's the material cause, it's what everything's made up of. However, we also say that Brahman doesn't do anything. And the fact that everything appears is an illusion. So Brahman doesn't, in some ways, doesn't cause anything. It's not the doer. It's unchanging, and so therefore can't do anything. So let's look at this in a bit more detail. I think seeing Brahman in this way gives it kind of a real deep sacred quality. When you see this as this like vast, timeless, pure, uncomprehendable thing which is just there, the stillness of the universe. I think it's quite profound. So I like looking at it in this way. Okay, so we're going to look at this in a text from Adi Shankara called Aparokshanubhuti. So in Aparokshanubhuti, it's actually translated as direct experience, and also some people translate it as self-realization. So it's specifically to guide us to self-realization. And this part is essential. It's a really key part of Advaita Vedanta. I'm going to read you the lines now. So we're going to look at line 135 and 136. So here we go. It sounds a bit crazy at first, but we'll go into it, we'll unpack it. The nature of the cause inheres in the effect, and not vice versa. So through reasoning, it is found that in the absence of the effect, the cause as such also disappears. Right, so that basically says that there is a cause inside the effect. So I have a teapot. Now, inside this teapot is the cause, the clay. So the clay is inside the teapot, yes? Now the next line is, and not vice versa. So it's not the case that the teapot is in the clay. Now that you may think, well, it might be. It sounds like a maybe poetic way of saying it. You know, the teapot's in the clay. But through analysis, which is the next line, so through reasoning, it is found that in the absence of the effect, so when we don't find any effect, when we don't find any teapot, and we'll look into that in a minute, the cause as such also disappears. So we find that Brahman doesn't cause anything. The material cause doesn't cause anything. Okay, so first, we've got the teapot, and it's, I will be careful. Don't come to my house and have a cup of tea. Don't trust me. It's not really a teapot. It's a neti pot. It's for putting up your nose. It's a yoga thing. But for the purposes of this video, it's going to be a teapot, okay? Because I'm not going to keep saying neti pot. I tried doing that on a previous take and I messed up the whole thing. And in this take, I hope I don't start saying effect and cause the wrong way around like I also did. We'll see how far we get. Hopefully this will be the final take. So here we've got the pot, the teapot, and it's got a name, it's got a shape, it's got a form, and it's got a use. The use is for making tea. It's not really. It's for putting up your nose. But for the purpose of the videos, I've decided to call it a teapot. It is for making tea. That's its use. Now, okay, so the name and the form are teapot shape, and use for making tea. Now, is that teapot inside the clay? Not really. You can't see any teapots inside the clay. On the outside it's clay. On the bottom it's clay, on the inside it's clay. It's clay wherever I touch it, it's clay. However, within that clay, there is no teapot, independent. You say, well, yeah, but it's clay, and then it's got the form of a teapot. Okay, so I'll take away the clay. Now, where's the form of the teapot? There is no, if we can't show them independently, then they're not two separate things. There is really, here, there is only, I could show you clay on its own, but I couldn't show you teapot without any clay. So therefore, we've made the teapot disappear. In analysis, so that's the important thing. It's still actually here in my hand. It's not like some AI imaginary teapot or even imaginary neti pot. You can use it. You can still put it up your nose or make tea with it. But under analysis, it doesn't really exist. All that, the name and the form and the use, that's all Maya. Okay. So now we take that and we look at consciousness. So consciousness pervades everything. The door is conscious in my conscious experience. So we could say that first let's look at, so the word experience, the way that they define experience is consciousness plus object. So in my experience, there is the fridge. I can see a fridge in front of me. I can see the camera. All these are in my awareness, clearly. Everything that you see around you is in your awareness as well. So the awareness permeates everything. There is nothing outside awareness. We can look at it with being as well, Sat Chit Ananda, existence, consciousness, bliss. So being, awareness, and value, or bliss if you prefer. Now, we could look at it for being as well. Is there anything in being that is not being? It can't be, because if there's anything in existence that doesn't exist, that's not existence, made of existence, then it doesn't exist. So there is nothing in being that's not being. Now, is there anything in consciousness? Are these objects in consciousness? Now, we would think, oh yes, James, we know. We've been watching your non-duality video. We know that everything is just in consciousness and there's nothing outside consciousness. But is there really anything in consciousness? Is there really a teapot in consciousness? Or is it just consciousness? You can see this, we can get help from the materialists, actually. Don't tell them that I said that. But when you see a cup of coffee, and it's in your awareness, it's in this sensorium, this where they say that all this world is created, is this magical effect of the brain that has this epiphenomenon that creates everything. And you drink coffee. Now, there is actually no coffee in your experience. The taste of the coffee, the smell of the coffee, the color of the coffee, the heat of the coffee, the hardness of the mug, all of that is just in your imagination. There is something outside awareness, there's fields and things like that, but there's no, inside your awareness, there's no coffee. Inside your head, there's no coffee. So in awareness, there is no coffee, there are no objects. There's no fridge in your awareness inside your, it's just awareness. And so therefore, we remove the effect of the material cause. And when we can find no effect and only awareness, then we say that awareness was not the cause of anything. So therefore, Brahman, existence, consciousness, bliss, is not the doer. It is work on a deeper level. Now, what does this mean? Does it mean that the world is not there? No, it's there. This is through analysis, and that's what it says. I'm going to read the next few lines now, okay? So it's 136. Then that pure reality Brahman, which is beyond speech, also remains. This should be understood again and again, verily, through the illustration of earth and the pot. So through the clay and the pot. You have to do this and again until you get this. That Brahman is the only thing that remains. Consciousness is the only thing that remains. Is this saying that the world is not here? No, I can definitely pick up the pot. It's still here. Look, there it is. It didn't vanish when I, through analysis, made it disappear. It is actually here in our transactional reality. The name, the form, and the use. This word vivihara is use, but it also means transaction, how you can, there's many translations of it. So in this transactional reality, we have these things, we use these things. I could fill this with water, it wouldn't just drop on the floor. All these things exist in this level of reality that we live in. But in the ultimate reality, there is just Brahman. And Brahman causes nothing, is unchanging, is eternal, has no parts, and there is no second to it. And that is what you are, what you really are. This feeling of you, that thing, there is no other. You are it. So I hope that was okay. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.